Lagaan, Once Upon a Time in India, 2001, is an epic Bollywood sports drama film directed by Ashutosh Govarikar and produced by Aamir Khan, who also stars as the protagonist, Bhuvan. Set in the late 19th century during the British colonial period, Lagaan is a stirring tale of hope, determination, and the struggle for justice against oppressive rulers. The film masterfully combines history, patriotism, and sports, becoming a milestone in Indian cinema and earning international recognition, including an Academy Award nomination for Best Foreign Language Film. This detailed summary covers the plot, characters, themes, and cultural significance of Lagaan. Setting and introduction. The story takes place in the fictional village of Champaner, situated in the heart of India during the height of British rule in 1893. The villagers of Champaner, like many others in the region, are heavily taxed by the British government through the system of Lagaan, a form of land tax. The village is struggling due to a prolonged drought, leaving the farmers unable to produce enough crops to survive, let alone pay their taxes. The villagers are shown as humble, hardworking, and pious, yet deeply oppressed by the British authorities, who exploit their resources and livelihood. At the center of this turmoil is Bhuvan, Aamir Khan, a brave and kind-hearted young man who believes in the power of hope and unity. Bhuvan stands out as a leader in the village, inspiring the people to stay optimistic despite their hardships. Other key villagers include Bhuvan's mother, Yashoda, Suhasini Mule, and his love interest, Gauri, Gracie Singh, a sweet, simple girl from the village who is deeply devoted to Bhuvan, British authorities, and the challenge. The local British cantonment is headed by Captain Andrew Russell, Paul Blackthorne, a ruthless officer who governs with an iron fist. Captain Russell is arrogant, cruel, and indifferent to the villagers' suffering. The British rulers demand Lagaan from the villagers despite the drought, threatening them with severe consequences if they fail to pay. One day, while the villagers are pleading for a reduction or suspension of the tax, they witness a strange game being played by the British officers. This game, called cricket, is unknown to the villagers, and they watch curiously as the British play on the field. It is during this time that Captain Russell, irritated by the villagers' request for leniency, makes a provocative offer. He challenges the villagers to a cricket match. If the villagers win the match, they will be exempt from paying Lagaan for the next 3 years. However, if they lose, they will have to pay triple the amount of Lagaan. The challenge is absurd, as the villagers have never played or even heard of cricket. Yet the stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences of losing would be catastrophic for the village. Russell's challenge is essentially a cruel bet, designed to humiliate the villagers and further assert British dominance. Though most of the villagers are terrified by the prospect of accepting such a challenge, Bhuvan boldly steps forward and agrees to the match, much to the shock of his fellow villagers, rallying the villagers. After Bhuvan accepts the challenge, the villagers are furious and frightened. Many accuse Bhuvan of foolishly risking their futures, believing that they stand no chance against the British in a game they do not understand. Bhuvan, however, remains steadfast in his belief that they can win if they unite, learn the game, and practice together. He encourages the villagers to see this as an opportunity to break free from the oppressive Lagaan and regain their dignity. Despite initial reluctance, a few villagers, including Bhuvan's close friends, begin to rally behind him. With time, more of the villagers join Bhuvan's cause, motivated by their desperate circumstances and inspired by his unwavering determination. Bhuvan's passion for justice and equality ignites a sense of hope in the villagers, and they gradually agree to take up the challenge. Learning the game of cricket. With little knowledge of cricket, Bhuvan and the villagers are at a huge disadvantage. However, their fortunes change when Elizabeth Russell, Rachel Shelley, Captain Russell's kind-hearted sister, decides to help them. Unlike her brother, Elizabeth is compassionate and sympathetic toward the plight of the villagers. She is appalled by her brother's arrogance and cruelty and wants to see justice done. Elizabeth secretly begins teaching Bhuvan and his team the rules of cricket, helping them understand the nuances of the game. Elizabeth's lessons include the basics of batting, bowling, and fielding. Despite the language barrier, she manages to communicate with the villagers through gestures and simple words, and her genuine desire to help them wins their trust and respect. Under Elizabeth's guidance, the villagers slowly start to grasp the fundamentals of cricket, though they struggle initially. Bhuvan emerges as the natural leader and captain of the team. His charisma and leadership skills help keep the team united, even as they face numerous setbacks. Among the team members are Ismail Rajzuchi, a talented but initially unsure player, Bura Raghubar Yadav, a chicken farmer with a strong arm for throwing, and Lakha Yaspal Sharma, a village woodcutter who secretly harbors resentment toward Bhuvan. Overcoming internal struggles. As the villagers prepare for the match, they must overcome not only the challenge of learning cricket, but also internal divisions within their community. One of the central conflicts arises from caste discrimination. Kakra, Aditya Lakia, a Dalit, an outcast from the lower caste, wishes to join the team, but he faces resistance from the higher caste villagers. Despite the prejudice, Bhuvan insists that Kakra be included in the team, recognizing that everyone's contribution is vital to their success. Kakra, who has a physical disability in his hand, turns out to have an extraordinary talent for spin bowling, which surprises and impresses the team. His inclusion not only strengthens the team but also serves as a powerful statement against social inequality, as Bhuvan leads by example in breaking down caste barriers. Meanwhile, tensions arise when Lakha, jealous of Bhuvan's growing influence and secretly in love with Gauri, agrees to spy for Captain Russell in exchange for personal gain. Lakha's betrayal nearly cost the team their chance to win, but when his treachery is discovered, he begs for forgiveness. Bhuvan, ever the leader, chooses to forgive Lakha and allows him to continue playing on the team. This act of forgiveness unites the team even further as they resolve to stand together against their common enemy. The cricket match, a battle for justice. The climactic cricket match spans several days and is the heart of the film's narrative. The British team, led by Captain Russell, is composed of experienced players, while the villagers are underdogs who have learned the game only recently. The match itself is filled with tension, drama, and excitement as the villagers fight against overwhelming odds to secure their freedom. The match begins with the British team batting first. Despite their best efforts, the villagers struggle to take wickets, and the British rack up a high score. However, Kakra's spin bowling proves to be a turning point as he begins to take crucial wickets, leaving the British players baffled by his unique bowling technique. The villagers' spirit is lifted, and they manage to restrict the British team to a challenging but achievable score. When it is the villagers' turn to bat, they face a formidable British bowling attack. Several key players are dismissed early, putting the team in a precarious position. However, Bhuvan plays a heroic innings, displaying remarkable skill and determination. His batting inspires the team, and they slowly begin to chase down the target. The tension reaches its peak when the match comes down to the final over. With just a few runs needed to win and only one wicket remaining, the fate of the entire village rests on Bhuvan and Kakra. In the final moments, Bhuvan hits a towering six, a cricket shot that earns the team 6 runs, sealing the victory for the villagers. Victory and aftermath. The villagers erupt in joyous celebration as they realize they have won not just a cricket match, but their freedom from the oppressive Lagaan. Captain Russell, humiliated by the loss, is forced to honor his promise, and the villagers are exempted from paying Lagaan for the next 3 years. Furthermore, Russell is severely reprimanded by his superiors for his reckless behavior and is transferred back to Britain in disgrace. Elizabeth, who had grown fond of Bhuvan, leaves India but is content knowing that justice has been served. The villagers, now free from the burden of Lagaan, celebrate their victory with immense pride and gratitude toward Bhuvan, who has become their hero. Bhuvan and Gauri's love story, which had been developing throughout the film, is finally fulfilled, and they are united in marriage. Themes and messages. Lagaan is a film rich with themes of hope, unity, and resistance against oppression. At its core, it is a story of ordinary people rising to the occasion and fighting for justice in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. The film highlights the power of unity as the villagers from different backgrounds and castes come together to fight a common enemy. Bhuvan's leadership, vision, and unwavering belief in justice serve as the driving force behind their success. The movie also critiques colonialism and the exploitation of India's rural population by the British through the villagers' struggle against Lagaan.